Right now at 5, state of emergency. Protesters return to the streets of Baltimore. This time, most are peaceful.
Here we go.
Now, after a night of violence, calls for calm, straight from the White House.
When individuals get crowbars and start prying open doors to loot, they're not protesting. They're not making a statement. They're stealing.
Tonight, the effort to regain control of a city under siege. And let's take a look now at live pictures from Baltimore, where you can see a lot of people out onto the streets now, but perhaps not later, because a curfew will go into effect later tonight at 10 o'clock. And 1,000 National Guard troops are on the ground in Baltimore right now. We know that at least 20 officers were hurt during the chaos that unfolded live about this time yesterday.
One person is in critical condition tonight, injured in a fire that was started last night. CBS 4's Elliot Rodriguez is here now with the day's developments. Elliot.
Well, Rick and Erica, Baltimore remains a city in a state of emergency tonight. The National Guard is in place, along with state troopers working with Baltimore police, who were outnumbered last night. Baltimore leaders hope the increased police presence, calls for peace from the clergy, and a curfew will help cooler heads prevail. Maryland state troopers in full riot gear stood face to face with crowds of demonstrators, one of many tense standoffs on the same Baltimore streets where widespread violence broke out last night. The city erupted into chaos last night as rioters took aim at police, pelting officers with bricks and setting cars on fire. Local businesses were looted as news cameras rolled, and a senior citizen housing project set to open in a few months was burned to the ground, destroying housing for 60 seniors. President Obama condemned the violence, calling it counterproductive.
When individuals get crowbars and start prying open doors to loot, they're not protesting. They're not making a statement. They're stealing.
The day started on a positive note with volunteers cleaning up a CVS drugstore that had been looted the night before.
We gotta come together.
But later in the day, cameras were rolling as one demonstrator scuffled with police before being arrested, and some reporters were hit in the face with pepper spray.
We are being sprayed with pepper spray.
Demonstrators are angry over the death of 25-year-old Freddie Gray, who died of severe spinal injuries while in police custody last week. Baltimore's mayor responded to criticism that she didn't move quickly to quell the unrest.
We had a very aggressive strategy. What happened was we had splinter groups that went in every different direction, and it was a different, it turned into a different incident, and we worked to respond on the ground in real time.
Baltimore's police chief said most of the rioters were young people, students who use social media to gather at a local mall. This mother wasn't having it. She saw her son throwing rocks on TV, tracked him down, and gave him a public beating in front of the cameras. The police commissioner and parents across social media applauded her actions.
And if you saw on one scene, you had one mother who grabbed their child who had a hood on his head, and she started smacking him on the head because she was so embarrassed. I wish I had more parents that took charge of the kids out there.
Well, tonight, Major League Baseball has decided a game between the Baltimore Orioles and Chicago White Sox tomorrow afternoon will be closed to the public. The decision to have a closed baseball game was made for the safety of the fans and so that police resources could be used elsewhere. Elliot Rodriguez, CBS 4 News.